My hair's kind of funky today. So, hi, I'm here with a travel video for you guys today as promised, and I was just traveling, so this is very fresh in my mind, and I think traveling as a raw vegan is arguably one of the hardest things about being raw, at least it has been for me. And over the years, I have struggled with it. So, but it's really different for me now. It's very easy for me now, very simple, no big deal. But before, I used to do a whole lot of planning, a whole lot of pre-packing, a whole lot of experimenting with which kind of ice you can bring on the plane and what kind of roller refrigerated iceboxy thing I could bring it in. I don't do any of that anymore. It's way too much way too many problems. I also don't bring like a juicer. I don't bring any equipment. It's so easy for me now, and it's way better. I encourage you to eschew, is that how you say it? All of the trappings of making your own raw food on the road, unless you're doing like a long trip where you're going to be in one place, or you're going to be in an Airbnb where you have access to actually making food. That's a different story. But what I'm talking about is maybe a short trip where you do have access to a grocery store, because all of this obviously is going to depend on what your access to food is, how much refrigeration you have, and how long your trip is. But for me, I'm going to talk today about a short trip like I just did to go see my mom, my family, and I'll show you how I did that. So first of all, I didn't bring any food with me at all. I did not pack one thing. It's not always true. Sometimes I'll bring a banana and some seeds. You can bring those easily on the plane. I'll tell you right now, you cannot bring hummus. That is considered a liquid. I learned that the hard way. So what I did this time was I flew, had a short flight. Once I got to my destination, I found a Whole Foods and I went to town. So this is what I got. I got some bananas. Actually, I got these bananas at Target when I landed. I did a quick trip to Target for something else, and they had organic bananas. So I snagged some organic bananas at Target. I also got some more at Whole Foods. I got oranges. I got some avocados. I got kombucha is nice because it'll keep you going with your probiotics. If you do this in the morning before you eat, just have like a little bit of it every morning. I make that last the whole trip. Little secret tip, at least it's been true for me, you don't have to refrigerate kombucha. So a lot of people like it cold, but it's actually, I make my own kombucha and it's definitely not refrigerated. So that is not a big deal. Other products you can get are, I get this Go Raw brand quite a bit. I like this cereal. It's kind of an indulgence for me because it's fairly high sugar. But I kind of ignore a little bit my, how I usually eat and just eat a little bit higher sugar, salt, and fat on the trip because I'm doing a lot of just purchased products. So another of their brand that I like are their sprouted seeds. These happen to be pumpkin. They're super yummy. You just take a handful wherever you are. I keep these in my purse, and they're super yummy. Another thing, here's another, actually one of their seed mixes. This is so addictive. I will just go through this whole bag. It's so yummy. So those are the seeds I got. And then I actually got some chia seeds. This is super easy. I'll do a video on this in particular because I do these for breakfast almost every morning. But I get a bag of seeds and then put it in a bowl and just put water on it and cut up a banana in it if I'm traveling. Stir it up really well so you don't have pockets of dry seeds. And then I just eat that for breakfast on the road. It's super, super easy to travel with, and all you need is water. So another one is you can get raw crackers. They're super easy to deal with. And then, of course, there are a ton of different versions of raw bars now. Again, these are going to be higher in sugar than I want to eat normally, but on the road, I kind of don't worry about that too much. Another thing I like to get are these raw mineral crusts. There are different versions of these. They have a breakfast version. And what I like to do is get some raw almond butter and put that on there. And that's a really high protein, yummy snack. Sometimes I'll cut up a banana also and put it on there, and it's super good. Sometimes I have that for lunch, actually. And I'm just going to reach over here. You can also get these wraps. This is a good brand. I also like these. Coconut wraps. They're also really yummy. And what I do with these is I'll just cut up an avocado, sometimes just have that, sometimes put a tomato in there with it. If I'm at a store where they have some raw vegan spread, sometimes I'll do like a garlic spread with avocado and tomato, and it's just so yummy. I also do that at home quite a bit. Sometimes I'll make my own wraps as well if I have enough time. Another thing I like to do if you have access to like a Whole Foods or something, there are a lot of cold pressed juices now. Even if there's not a fresh juice bar, you can get bottled juices, and it's not as good as fresh, but it's certainly better than no green juice. And I stick with greens, greens, greens. I do not get fruit juices. Fruit juices will spike your blood sugar because there's no fiber for it to slow the absorption down when it gets in your bloodstream. So my recommendation is green juice. I never do fruit juices. At the very most, I'll put like a little bit of carrot, or I'll do a little bit of beet. Depending on your refrigeration, I didn't have refrigeration on my drive, but had I would have gotten something like this, which is just a hummus collard wrap. And that is just a super yummy thing you can put in your hotel fridge or your relative's fridge or wherever you are, and do something like that. And obviously, if you're at a grocery store where you have access to a lot of fresh raw food, then there's no issue at all. But even if you don't, you can get some of these packaged products I recommended. And water, I do a ton of water. And hold on, I forgot to show you guys something. Just a sec. I'll keep talking. So this is a soup mix, and I got this idea. Hey, I'm back. I got this idea from a book called, I'm looking at it, Fresh, and it's by the Botankos. If you're familiar with green smoothies, you're familiar with the Botankos. I'll share that book later. This is an idea they had, and it's a soup mix. So what you do is, if you have a dehydrator, you can prepare this so easily. You just get a bunch of different vegetables, and you can just make your own, really. This one has tomatoes and mushrooms, some kale, some parsley, carrots, and bell pepper, and some spices. And what you do is you just stir this up. It's dry. You dehydrate it so it's completely dry, and then you can mix it up with some warm or hot water wherever you are and have soup. It's not the best soup in the world, but you do get a lot of vitamins and minerals with having all those yummy veggies in there, and it's better than hot water. So that's another idea. So those are my real basics, and I kind of base everything on getting a fresh salad. So if I can get a fresh salad at least once a day with some good organic greens, I do that. If not, I do as much fresh fruit and vegetables as I can handle, and then really supplement with the other products, because like I mentioned a couple of times, it's more salt, it's more fat, it's more sugar than you really want to be eating on a regular basis if you're doing these packaged products, but they are a good addition to a travel menu. So that's it. I hope that helps. That's just if you're not going to restaurants. I'll do a restaurant video another time because that's also fun and easy. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.